Next at Megaverse, it's Mr. Fritz So Skinny.
Hello, well, here is a bit buzzing. Okay, the following is a public service announcement that affects every man, woman and child on the planet. It is also my thesis in premenstrual tension. Premenstrual tension is that time of the month when the male can do absolutely nothing right. He lives in fear of his life and he'd rather kill himself than await the killing blow that could come at any time. It's that time when reality takes a break for about 5 days, and the females in his family unit swap places with their evil parallel universe counterparts. Or maybe they pull a Jekyll and Hyde. Not too sure of the details. Further analysis is needed into this phenomenon. Now that said, there are signs in the build-up to the event. Number 1. It's not your imagination. There is a dark cloud developing above your house. It's nature's warning of the coming storm. Heed it. Number 2. Those alarm bells you hear ringing in your head. It's not paranoia. It's a repressed memory of this time last month resurfacing, where your mind has tried to protect you from the horror. This is simply a biological coping mechanism that activates in the male every 3rd week of the month. Complete amnesia of the previous 5 days allows the said male to live in blissful ignorance and denial of the developing post-traumatic stress syndrome. This also accounts for the somewhat shorter lifespan of the male. Number 3. The females at this time will experience both physical and psychological changes that are often misinterpreted by the male. Symptoms include A. 7 Dwarf Syndrome. It is called such because of the nature of the developing personalities that include grumpy, horny, weepy, angry, clinging, evil, and dopey. It is important that the male not be fooled when dealing with weepy or clingy, because despite the natural response to comfort, they could become grumpy, angry, or evil at a moment's notice, and subject to change without warning. So as a safety precaution, the male should always throw a chocolate chip muffin like a grenade at the female's feet and retreat quickly. B. Long-term memory retrieval, whereby the female will both recall and recount everything the male has ever said or done wrong. At this time, it is imperative for his own safety that the male remember that whether he is right or wrong, he is wrong. C. Deposit in venom. The female will experience in varying degrees of rage, will spit poison at the male that may escalate to fire, should the male speak out of turn during this process. It is believed that the poison sacs develop in the female's ankles, as there is often noticeable swelling at this time. D. Rapid cleaning. The female will dust and clean at approximately 10 times her normal rate of speed, as she chants disparaging remarks and comments about the male. If at any time the male should ask if she is okay, he will receive a very cold, fine. It is at this time that he should retreat quickly. See Appendix A. Number 4. The male is likely to find all manner of strange paraphernalia in the bathroom that will both baffle and confuse him. Words like wind, strings, promises of comfort and freshness while playing tennis, swimming or cycling only deepen the mystery of their relevance to events. What has been established is that these items are not for use with general sports equipment, and although they offer limited absorbency in swimming, they are neither comfortable nor fresh when wrapped around a tennis racket or bicycle handlebars. Further study is needed. Number 5. The male will experience varying degrees of dread that increase in intensity at this time. This is simply mortal fear, and although it may appear unfounded, it becomes more justified in his mind as the days pass. Number 6. As the female becomes increasingly consumed by the event, she becomes a vessel that quite literally accelerates the male's age, causing tremendous mental turmoil and stress as she absorbs his life force with her irritability, rage and accusations that have no basis in truth or logic. Interesting to note that this also contributes to the male's shortening lifespan. See Appendix 2. Number 7. As the event reaches its climax, it also becomes the most critical time for the male. The female fully embraces the event and develops extreme strength and a keen knowledge of weapons expertise, and can at will create a lethal weapon out of any object that is within reach at a moment's notice. This is called atemosis, whereby the male will find himself avoiding projectiles of all shapes and sizes in a manner largely unseen outside of the Matrix trilogy. Should the male survive the event, so will begin his repression of short-term memory. Lasting effects of this recurring phenomenon include perceiving the reminding nature of the female's voice as white noise and the inability to see sought-after objects before his eyes. The female at this time develops an elated euphoria and a feeling of well-being but the darkness has subsided. Perceptual stimuli includes fluffier clouds, brighter skies, and that hunk down the road washing his Porsche. In conclusion, more study into the cause of the phenomenon is needed. Thank you. Okay, I generally do sort of character stuff when I'm doing this, so I go into my Welsh character now. It's called Spicing Up the Sex Life for a Week of Hell. Hello, Fritz here. I'd like to do a poem. It's called Spicing Up the Sex Life for a Week of Hell. She said our sex life was mundane and had become routine. So we should spice it up a bit, indulge in the obscene. So I figured, what the hell, let's give it a go. It should be fun to mix it up, rekindle passions fun. Monday we tried dressing up, I donned the Batman suit, and she Catwoman to my bat. We thought we'd have a boot. I left the wardrobe to the light and swung away the crack. The ceiling caved around us both, and I threw up my back. Tuesday we tried roleplay. I met her in a bar. The gangster and the hooker, we messed round in the car. A tap upon the window's glass. A frowning, outraged cop who booked us for soliciting because we wouldn't stop. Wednesday I surprised her by leaping in the room. Naked as my bonus bang, she'll like this, I assume. Geronimo, I called out loud, and then began to choke. Her mum and gran were sitting there. Her gran then had a stroke. Thursday we got kinky. I chained her to the bed. Aroused to see her naked form and naughty words she said. A banging on the door revealed her angry, ranting dad, who called to speak of yesterday, but saw her then went mad. Friday naked she sat on my back atop a saddle. She spanked my ass, cause any chance she swung a ping pong paddle. She rode me round till I was sore through all the rooms and halls, till I collapsed when one missed swing had caught me in the balls. Saturday we calmed it down, massage with scented oils, to help relieve this week of hell and all its sex game toils. Till I felt something pat my ass. Was not a nice surprise. Vibrating dildo 5,000 brought tears to my eyes. I bit down on the pillow hard, not much that I could say. I clawed the plaster from the walls a bit to get away. By Sunday I'd had enough, and told her please no more. I miss mundane, I like routine just like it was before. No more costumes, chains or spikes or objects in my ass. No more surprises you have planned or schemes you must surpass. Fine, she said, I'll call my friend and cancel our three-way. I looked at her through narrowed eyes. My jaw dropped in dismay. Don't be hasty by my words, I grinned and calmly tried. Good, 'cause Bernard's on his way, she said, and so I cried, and cried, and cried.